for me. Run through the land, you run through my soul. Bring me wisdom and peace. Run through all ages and all of life's stages. You bring me around to find my release.
This is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have from Miscoe School, right over, it's in Mendon, right? It's right over the line, up to Mendon. We have Diane Duncan right beside me, and we have Lisa Liu beside her. And Lisa is a co-chair, and Diane is the chair of We Care Miscoe. And I read about you, was it in our local paper?
We've been trying to get a little bit of publicity.
Definitely. Yeah, We Care. Now you started, first of all, let's tell everybody what it's all about. Is this a good one?
So, well, this one is talking about, we have a meeting coming up, kind of our kickoff 2020 meeting.
Mm-hmm.
People who want to get involved, want to learn more about it. We have a meeting on the 23rd from 7 to 8 o'clock at Miscoe. So when anyone who wants to join us, we're happy to share a little bit more about the mission and talk about the opportunities we have in the upcoming, really, the next 6 months. We have some projects going on that we would welcome anybody's help, donations, whatever we can do to keep these projects moving.
And you both have a child. You've got two children, twins.
I do.
And then you have one.
And I have one.
You have one over here. So you became friends a year ago and then decided that this was something you wanted to do?
Well, we've been friends longer than that.
We've connected on other committees within the school district, just, kind of helping out, volunteering. Mm-hmm. So Lisa and I have been friends for quite some time, but this connection for We Care Miscoe was made on a baseball field.
Yes.
Last spring. We were both watching our boys, and Lisa was coming, and I think I was going, and I said, Lisa, can I talk to you for a minute? Mm-hmm. And I just shared the concept. And at that point, it wasn't called We Care Miscoe. It was called Miscoe Beautification. Right. So I shared the concept with her, what we were trying to do. And she's like, oh, I got a lot on my plate. I don't know. Let me think about it. And I think you thought about it for 2 weeks.
About that.
And then called me back, and she's like, I'm in. I love it. I'm in.
Once you got it together, the whole idea, what did you want to get across? What is it that you're doing?
So the gist of We Care Miscoe is basically projects to improve pride, ownership, and student success at the middle school. The school was built in 1959, and they took occupancy in 1960, so it's a very old school.
I can tell by the lowness of it.
Yeah.
The schools in the 60s were like the low ceilings.
Oh, you mean the profile,
the building
like
itself,
what it actually looks like.
The low ceilings,
Yeah, it's really funny because a lot of the volunteers that we have had on We Care Miscoe went to Miscoe.
Yes. Which is just amazing.
Some of them actually back in the 60s and 70s, some of them more recently. But the sentiment is always the same. Wow, this place hasn't changed a bit. Mm-hmm. And that is a positive comment and a negative comment. I think it's positive because they feel at home, but it's negative because there have been no real great improvements besides a couple of renovations through the years. And changes. It started off as a high school, and it became a middle school, an elementary school, and then a middle school. Mm-hmm. So it's seen some changes, but no grand changes, no really big ones. And the maintenance, there have been parts of the school that have been unused, and therefore the maintenance hasn't been great on those areas, and now they're being needed again. Yeah. But they're in rough shape, and a perfect example of that is the women's locker room.
Oh, yeah.
The girls' locker room?
Yes, the old girls' locker room. So it was not needed for a length of time because the bus company, I think, used it.
They did.
And they had moved the women's locker room to a new facility when they added on to the building. But then they wanted to repurpose that room to make it into a kitchen.
A cooking, so they could do cooking lessons.
So where were the girls going to change?
So they got pushed back to the old locker room, which hadn't been maintained. So it's in rough shape, and so that's one of the focuses of our work. Yeah. But at the heart of all of it is we want our students and our teachers to take ownership of their school and say, hey, this is a good school. It's an old school, but it's a good school, and here are some ways we can improve it, but we need your help.
Yeah.
And We Care Miscoe is there to help students and teachers bring their ideas to life.
Now, have you presented this to the kids? Do they know about this? the
Oh,
students?
yes, they do.
They know.
They do, yes.
If they have an idea about the school, they can come to one of you or both of you and share it and hope maybe it'll go through?
So we created what we call student grants
Yeah.
for them to write. And actually, we're actively working on, I think, 6 of them right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these are projects that the students filled out a grant proposal form and handed to Lisa and I, and we went through all of them. And our focus is like anything we can fund, we want to fund.
Yeah.
Right.
We want to give these kids ownership of the school and give them project management skills.
That's so young, though. My gosh, and they're doing grants already?
So it's
Oh,
a very
wow.
basic grant.
Yeah.
It is not complicated like we fill out in the adult world. It is a pretty basic grant.
Yeah.
And they each need to have a project leader or an
Yeah.
adult leader
Yeah.
to help them through the steps of this. So, as Lisa said, we have several outstanding grants right now that kids are working on with their leaders, and we're also bringing in Blackstone Valley Tech,
Oh, good. Yeah,
who
that's
have tremendous skills
Yeah.
to offer us.
Right.
The person who coordinates their outreach program or their community program, Tom Belland, actually went to Miscoe.
Yeah.
And is a friend of mine personally because of the sports programs in Mendon and Upton. And he was great. He walked the school with us about a month ago. And he said, any way that BVT can help you, we would like that to happen.
Show us now. You brought tell us a story. But when they got here, the wind took some of it, right? They brought this. I don't give.
It's pretty gusty today.
Focus on this one. Tell us about this beautiful one thing you put together.
So, this represents the 3 projects that we focused on over the summer months. The largest project was a very much a collaborative to repaint over 100 doors in the school and do it completely the right way, sanding them down, prepping them properly, using the right product on them. We collaborated with the facilities crew at Miscoe, and they were amazing, facilitating our efforts, helping our efforts, trying to make it all, coordinated with their cleaning schedule for the summer. They were great. So we had a project leader, Mike Naveau, who was, it was such a big project, I wouldn't have even known where to start.
He was phenomenal.
He did all the research. We coordinated the volunteers for him, but he managed the volunteers. And throughout the summer, the grueling summer months that we had, we prepped and painted over 100 doors. Mike Naveau's wife, Dina, another tremendous human being, took down all of the signs that were outside of the doors, and she, along with a crew of people, repainted and refinished all of the signs.
Lisa, did you have any murals done? Because we have interviewed as a wonderful muralist for schools in Worcester. That's what she does.
So actually, yes, we did have some murals done. We had our Girl Scout troop, 2 of our Girl Scout troops, correct, Diane? They did a mural in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And then we also had a woman who did some murals in the teacher's lounge. Carly
Halloran.
Thank you, Diane. Carly Halloran, who is a local she's an Upton.
She's an Upton,
resident.
and she's an artist,
Yeah.
and she has also just been so forthcoming and wanting to help us out in any way possible. So we have other murals that are kind of prideful, inspirational sayings that she's going to come back in and work on for us, but we also would love to get our students involved. And as Lisa was saying, we had the Upton Girl Scout troop, 5th and 6th graders, tackle the very first mural. A number of years ago, murals lined all the hallways, and in a previous administration, they wanted a clean slate. They wanted to give new students an opportunity to kind of own their school, and so this effort by the Upton Girl Scouts was the maiden voyage of new murals in our school. But we also had Mendon Girl Scouts take over a bathroom.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, yeah.
Good.
the seventh grade
cool.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have twin boys.
I do.
Now, how are they? Are they helping out?
Actually, yes, they helped out over the summer. They came in and helped clean the doors.
Yeah, because all the kick plates
Yes,
had to
oh,
be cleaned.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
grueling work.
It was a lot of work. Yeah.
Now, do you ever like at the PTA meetings? Do you ladies go and speak and remind them about what you're doing here, so that the parents know more about this, getting the word out?
Yes, we have been doing that. We're actually underneath the Miscoe Hill PTO.
Oh yeah.
So-
Well, if you notice their T-shirts, they're fantastic.
Yep.
I Care Miscoe on one side, and then in the back it's We Care Miscoe.
Yep,
Now, I'm
right
gonna
over
show-
here.
Wait till you see these. Now, where do people purchase these? At the school?
They could actually send an email to wecaremisco@gmail.com, and that will connect them to us, and we can get them a T-shirt. They're $15 each. It was our first fundraiser.
Yes, that is
So,
correct.
and a very successful fundraiser. And the reason we love them so much is, again, this has been truly a collaborative effort. Lisa and I are kind of the people that are always out there talking, but there are so many people behind the scenes. And Kate Flanagan, who is a mom of a student at Miscoe, she lives in Upton, and she's a designer, a graphic designer, and a photographer.
And she did the shirts.
And she
designed.
created that design
They
for
have
us.
blue here, green, red, gray.
Oh, we have so many more colors too.
Now, what yours
we
is-
tried to get the rainbow.
Well, yeah, yours is pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Green.
green.
Yeah.
We get a lot of different.
I'm trying to think
colors.
which one I like. I'm kind of partial to blue and red, but yeah, I like those very much. And you have them in all the different sizes.
We do. We
Right
do.
over at Miscoe, it's on Menden Street. Go up to the school any particular time. Someone
It's on
can drive
North
in.
Ave, actually.
It's on North Ave.
North Ave.
148 North Ave.
So they would go in there to the office and purchase it, or where would they go?
Actually, what they should do is just email us, and then we'll make arrangements.
Tell people how they can reach you.
It would be wecaremisco@gmail.com, and that would come directly to us. And if you could tell us your size and preference for color, and we could get it to make arrangements to get it to you.
Are the kids getting them too?
The kids are getting them, so we have youth sizes as well.
Yeah. Oh, I know my son would be all over me, like, oh, I gotta get that shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, we are talking with Diane Duncan, chairperson, and Lisa Liu, the co-chair of We Care Miscoe. And I know I saw it. We were just talking about that. Wasn't that in the Menden Upton Town Crier, or where was that? Or was it the Blackstone Valley Express?
It was the Town Crier.
Town Crier.
Yeah.
We've connected a few times to get some articles in about our work,
Yeah.
and initially it was about what is We Care Miscoe all about, and then we also had an article. We had a huge landscaping day back in October. We were like 90 volunteers strong that day. In fact, we probably put in about 200 plants into the
least.
ground, plants, trees, bushes, shrubs. And we anticipated an 8 to 12 time frame.
Yeah.
By 10 o'clock, because we had so many volunteers, our work was done.
Yeah, we
It
were
was
cleaning
amazing. And just to kind of give props where props are due, Lowe's and Weston Nurseries were very generous in donating some plants to us or offering us some deep discounts as well.
Yeah. So, and speaking of that, Diane, that's how we've been able to get a lot of the work done that we've been able to do is through donations by local organizations and businesses in the area that have been willing to work with us and provide us with materials, with labor, with whatever it is that we've needed.
Right.
It's just been the outpouring has been tremendous, and I think Diane and I are just overwhelmed and grateful with.
So this started a year ago.
Yes.
This idea of the guy hatched, and it's been a year. So if you've watched it progress by the month, or it just leaped. I mean, just went.
I think I would say it leaped. Kind of, right?
It has leaped. It's been great. There's a lot of work that needs to be done at the school, and my personality is let's get it done yesterday.
Yeah.
So I feel like we take on a lot. So let me tell you the 3 projects that we took on during the summer where we flipped the teacher's lounge, which was like, I remember talking to Lisa about this. I'm like, this is my first priority project.
Sounds like flip or flop, right?
It was, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I was sharing that I used to serve on school committee, and we had had a negotiations meeting in there. And I remember a moment when I looked over into the corner. Somebody had gotten up to put their dishes away, and I looked over in the corner and I saw the sink. The sink was about this high.
Yeah.
It was intended for students. Elementary
kids,
students.
yeah.
And I thought to myself, wow, that's really disrespectful to adults. To expect that adults would clean their dishes every day, and this is their getaway. This is their chance to be away from the children, away from the students, and rejuvenate, be ready for the rest of their day. And the walls were white. There was nothing special in there, and they had this, for lack of a better word, a very icky little sink in the corner. And that was like a moment for me. That was like, we need to treat our teachers with greater respect.
I bet that went over well with the teachers, though. I'll bet they were surprised.
If you could have seen the reaction on the teachers walking into that new teachers' lounge, I mean, some of them actually had tears.
How long did it take you to get it flipped? How long? How many? A couple months?
That was super
quite
quick.
easy.
How'd you get the new sinks? So did that donate? Was
Yes.
From who?
Yes.
They gave us sinks to you.
Lowe's.
They gave you a sink.
They gave us not just a sink, they gave us a new countertop and a new sink and a new faucet.
Was it granite?
But let me just tell you again, this is
it's
the countertop is gorgeous.
Granite?
It's gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give one to me.
And I mean, we had the plumbing donated,
Yeah.
carpentry donated. I mean,
Yeah.
people, like I said, we've just been overwhelmed with the generosity of people.
I bet the
who've
teachers
been-
were absolutely beside themselves with that. Joe has seen it, right? Joe Zarczyk, he is the
Oh yeah,
superintendent.
Joe has seen it.
What a great
Yeah.
idea. It took less than 2 months, right?
Yeah,
To do it?
yeah. We did it over the summer, the course of the summer. Another really great thing about these projects is we're bringing students in to
Yeah,
do the work.
Sure.
Right.
So we're reaching out to Blackstone Valley Tech, we're reaching out to Nipmuc, and there are a lot of Honor Society students out there that need service, but this isn't just for Honor Society students.
Yeah.
Because not just Honor Society students need service.
Right.
They may
I know.
need it because they need signatures, but everybody needs service.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. In this day and age, got to be really mindful that not everybody fits into the certain, that we got to open it up for everybody. What do we call it? Inclusion.
Yeah.
I remember my son was when he was in first grade, I remember it was the inclusion for sure. I remember the children that were there, and it was great to have them on board. I thought,
Yeah.
great, my son's learning that too.
Yeah.
Right.
We have sought to include everybody.
Yep.
And by everybody, I don't just mean people in the school community. I mean everybody in Mendon and Upton. If you want to join us, we want your help.
Right.
We want your skills. We want your time, your talents, anything that you're willing to share. And as much as this is a project in pride for Miscoe and increasing ownership and student success, it is as much a project in community. We would like to bring our communities together on even a larger basis. I mean, there's a lot of interface between Mendon and Upton because of our shared school district. But this is an opportunity for anyone to get involved and be a part of a very strong, supportive, caring community.
I've got an idea for you. I don't know if it's off base or not, but have you heard of that bookstore, basically for kids, in Sutton called The Enchanted Passage?
I haven't.
Yes, I've heard of it. I have not been there though.
It's terrific. Kim, she's been out here a number of times, the owner. It's an amazing place with a big, huge dragon out front. I'm wondering if some way she can tie in, she has authors there all the time. I interview children's authors, everybody. Some way you guys could work together, because if you want to bring the books in too for the kids to see, and I don't know, bring it as part of it, the literary part of it.
Yeah.
It's got Enchanted Passage in Sutton.
Interesting.
Kim, just say you met Jan.
Okay.
And explain what you're doing, and maybe somehow, maybe one of the parents is writing a book and would like to join you and promote the literary more part of it. You guys are doing a great job with the flipping and all that. Take the literary part too, because not everybody's into the physical. They're more
Yeah.
intellectual, so they want to do that part. That's kind of cool. That's a good place to, she's pretty neat.
You know, it's interesting. Another big push of this We Care Miscoe is, sitting on school committee, I always heard, the complaints about the physical structures in the schools. Obviously, Miscoe is the oldest school, so they have the most problems. And the message is always, well, there's no money. There's no money.
Is
There's
Miscoe
no money.
older than Memorial?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. It goes Miscoe, then Nipmuc, and then both the elementary schools were built at the same time about 20 years ago. So
Did you guys grow up in the system yourselves?
I did not.
No. But all 4 of my students went through.
All of your children went.
Yeah.
Your children. Your both
Yeah.
Just my 2 younger ones.
Your 2 younger ones. And
Yeah.
they're 13? 13
They're
or so?
12.
12. And how old is yours?
Mine is 13.
13.
Yep. And I think it's really important to note that the reason why this program has gotten off the ground the way that it has, beyond all the volunteerism, is because of the partnership with the schools. We wouldn't have been
Right.
able to come in if we didn't have the blessing of the principal and assistant principal, Jen and Paul, to really champion this program and get on board with us. They have had to attend all of our meetings because they need to know, we need to know what their priorities are, and they need to know what kind of work is going to be done in the schools, and that it's being done in the right ways, and that the needs of the schools are being met. The need of the school is being met.
And so parents are watching out there, or anybody else who has an idea to contribute, maybe a talent to contribute.
Right.
If you cover all the bases, talents are all over the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And sometimes you don't even need to have a very specific talent. Lisa was telling you a little bit about our student grant program. Sometimes we need an adult leader to help channel our students' energy towards a project.
Right.
They don't know exactly how to accomplish things. So having an adult, Lisa and I can't be everywhere in all places at once.
Right.
So we need adults that want to commit to even once meeting with the group once every week, every 2 weeks, to help them fine-tune their project
Right.
and get the resources. And actually, in terms of
Right.
resources, we have another fantastic woman that we work with, Lee Fallon, who is our donations chair, and she's reaching out into the community to find what we need to complete these projects at either discounted prices or donations.
Right.
So what we really need sometimes is just somebody who is willing to lead students.
How can they reach you, Diane?
They can reach us through wecaremisco@gmail.com. If you have any talent, just a connection to a company that you've heard about that might be willing to support our cause. If you want to donate directly, you can reach out to us. Really, any help in any form. It could even be just sweat equity, like, hey, I wanted to get involved in the community.
Right.
Can you use my help? I'm willing to come in on a weekend. I'm willing to give you a couple hours after school. We'll take anything, because we can't keep completing these projects if we don't have the manpower.
Right.
And
And if
the
somebody
people
comes in to
us.
help you, do they get a shirt?
We did that initially,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
all of our initial volunteers who kind of jumped on board,
Yep.
they all got T-shirts.
Good.
Which was really great.
That's
And
motivating.
it is motivating.
I want that free shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And part of the reason why we have this rainbow of colors is because we realize that our volunteers are diverse in nature.
Yeah.
And we love that. We wouldn't be able to do any of these projects if
Yeah.
we didn't have a diverse group that we were pulling from. And it's like so cool. You can pick your color.
Yep.
And when we all come together and we're working on a project, we're literally a rainbow of volunteers, and it's unbelievable.
Do you have a white? They've got all colors here. Do you have white too?
We don't have white.
Don't
Okay.
have
They probably
white.
wouldn't show. Would it show up as well?
No, well, no, because we had to have the logos made, and those were imprints, so we would have had to have another color
Black.
done.
Black.
Yeah.
That was what the boys might like.
We do have
is
black.
cool. Yeah.
We do have black.
We have a black T-shirt, but we don't have a black logo.
No, our
Yeah.
logos are all white.
So if somebody wants to come in and help with We Care Miscoe, they can know that they can connect with you.
Yes, at wecaremisco@gmail.com.
Yes.
That's the first place to start.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they can tell us how they want to help, and we'll point them in the right direction. We'll recruit them for whatever projects seems to be the best fit for them.
Yeah.
I keep starting to tell you about our summer projects, but I really want to finish telling you,
You got about
Jan.
5 minutes. Go for it.
Okay, so we started with the doors,
Yeah.
and that was an ongoing project through the summer. But we also were working on both our men's locker room and our women's locker room. And we had 2 carpenters come into our facility, scope it all out, draw up plans, and some of them off-site, some of them on-site, create us brand new cubbies. They did this for free, for nothing.
Yes.
Their labor.
Yeah.
We went to the Upton Men's Club and asked for a donation. They give us $1,000 donation. That $1,000, because of the generosity of the Home Depot, it's like one thing leads to another. Because of the generosity of the Home Depot being willing to discount the supplies so deeply, we were able to complete both locker rooms for $1,000.
Did you
which was
approach
unbelievable. Brand new cubbies in there.
approach the Bloomer girls? They are they're pretty.
No, but I will tell you, we were introduced to the
I
Bloomer
used to be,
girls
yeah.
Oh.
because when we were at the Upton Heritage Day,
Yeah.
representing We Care Miscoe, I went over to their booth and I talked to them.
Good.
So. Did you
Yeah.
see me there? Yes, we were there. Yes.
Well, any
Yeah.
last words before we have to sign up? Want to get the word out there that contact you and you need some help. Go for it.
Okay.
You can contact us again at wecaremisco@gmail.com.
And so you were just talking with Lisa Lou and Diane Duncan, and they're red hot to get going and get some more things going at Miscoe
Yes,
School.
we are.
Sounds
Yes.
like a lot of fun. Thanks for even thinking of doing something like this. This is great. Try thinking about Enchanted Passage, the bookstore, because I just feel this some kind of a connect.
Okay.
She's such an upbeat. You've got to see this bookstore. The dragon's out front. You go in. It's an old 1800 house with
We'll
all
have to
these
check
little
it out.
hallways and books for kids and even some for adults. But she's
That's really neat.
yeah, it's amazing.
Well, we're really grateful too, because Jan, I know that the reason I met you is because we were doing a fundraiser. We were doing a shoe drive
Yeah.
through Funds to Org, and I bumped into you here at the library.
Yeah.
And so we're really grateful that you invited us to kind of share a little bit more about our mission and
Yeah.
what we're trying to accomplish. And
Well, you're welcome to come back again, maybe in the summer or whatever you want to get the word out some more. Thank you
we'd
for
love
being
to.
with us.
Absolutely.
We'd love to.
to.
We'd love to keep updating you on the projects that we're working on. As Lisa pointed out, we have probably 6 student projects we're working on right now, but we also have additional projects. We're trying to kind of renovate the lobby, and we've got a few other things, so we'd be happy to
Yeah.
come back and
They'll
update
tell you
you.
all about them.
Oh my
This is
God.
really
Oh,
good.
So
yeah.
can you tell we're a little bit passionate about this?
Thank
Yeah.
you for being with us.
Thank
both of
you.
We'll see you next
you.
time and be my guest.